Good morning once again, dear friends. Last time we ended on slide 39, which was saying the 10 commandments of computing, computing and computer ethics institute. Though we have some commands that we normally use also here, we have shall not use a computer to harm other people. So here we are saying that having the knowledge of a computer, you don't use it to harm others, like hackers, crackers. These are programmers, people who have not been taught properly in a school of computing and informatics, maybe in Kema University or any other school or any other university. Then they start using the knowledge they have to harm the companies, and yet we are supposed to be the solution to the communities. Are you getting that? Then will become problems to them. Thus shall not interface with other people's computer work. So you're not supposed to interact or to open up a folder or a file that is not yours on someone's what? Computer. Thou shall not snoop around in other people's computer files. So you shall not be sneaking and enter into someone's office and then open up his computer and then look at his files. Thou shall not use a computer to steal. So you not use a computer to steal people's property or to steal money, to steal what from the bank or from these financial institutions. Thus shall not use a computer to bear false witnesses. So you shall not use a computer to work as a false witness, or maybe you have done something and then you delete it, then you claim to say that no, you see, the computer, if it had done it, then to have recorded it. Yet indeed you did it, but then you're using it as a witness so that you should not be captured or might be punished. Thus shall not copy or use proprietary softwares for which you have not paid. You're getting that? So when here the word proprietary means that these are the software that when we buy our laptops or our computers, they come with CDs that we use softwares to run on those computers. So if you happen to use a copy of another machine, which is not of that particular machine, then that is pirated software. Pirated software is a software that is being used on a wrong machine, or which was not made it for. Are you getting that? But a proprietary is a software that is being done to a right machine, which it was made it for. Are you getting that? That's a proprietary. So we're saying, because this is also stealing of softwares. Thus shall not use other people's computer resources without authorizations and proper compensation. So you need authority from the owner of the part of the file for you to be able to access the informations and continue with it. Thus shall not appropriate other people's intellectual output. So you'll not be able to work with people's what output, or with people's energy or other things that they're using. They shall think about the social consequences of the program you are writing or the systems you are designing. So you need to come up with a design with a software or program that will be able to harm others, like a virus that destroys the data of people, or might be like other software that collects information from our computers. I think that. So you'll not come up with that, because when you look the impact of that software that you're coming up with, what impact or what a problem do they have over the community or to the community. I getting that. So you'll not design that one there. Thus shall always use a computer in ways that show considerations and respect for your fellow human beings. So getting that. So you'll do something that your fellow people can be able to benefit from it. Then after that, we can be able to look at the basic computer security. Well, the computer security is the process of protections of computing systems and data that they store or access. So after finishing now, completing and building all our computer in place, then we expect to protect our machine, because we expect that there are always thieves who can come and enter into our machine and do something wrong to us. So you're saying computer security is the protections of all the process of protecting our devices or our data from being exposed or from being attacked by any other person that can be in position to destroy our company. Why computer security? Why do we use computer security? The internet is a dangerous place. That's the reason why we always need security in our devices, because all these devices nowadays, they are connected over the internet, and we expect a lot of things over the internet, and that's why we're saying that internet is a dangerous place or a dangerous zone. So the systems are constantly being scanned for weak or vulnerable ports so that they can be exploited. So always over guys, these guys now, the malicious guys are always over the internet trying to scan each and every computer to see if they can get where to pass and penetrate into that system and pick or steal whatever they need into that. It's like a thief. When he has a target of your house, your targeted person or targeted home, he will always be visiting you and enter and try to find out, getting that, how do you lock, how do you do this, how do you do things at home, and how do you behave, getting that. So after he has realized what he's taking, so he will recognize a weakness, because we said a weakness is a loophole or a vulnerability that someone will use for him or her to overcome you or to get what he needs from you. So this is what these guys will always be scanning the internet for all the computers over the world. Information is one of the most important assets for the majority of the organizations and individuals. Are getting that? So information is very important to each and every organization. So when you are a network administrator, the first thing to do is to keep or to protect the information of the organization. Because when you mess up with one, that's when you know whether that organization loves you or not. The organization will love you when its information is kept constant without being touched or being attempted. But the moment it gets any challenge, obviously, you like or not, in the next few minutes, you'll be sacked. Sources of computer security include the fire, sabotages, natural disasters, and viruses, and so many others altogether. So these are the sources of computer insecurity. So when you find out that when there is a fire, obviously you have to cater for fire, you have to get sabotages, and all these things have to be controlled. Measures that can be taken to reduce the threats to computers. What do you think can be taken for us after we have realized that there is already challenges of thieves and insecurity? Then we need to look at the way on how we can be to overcome them. 1. Never share passwords or passphrases. Passwords are given to people, but your machine or even your PIN code for your ATM card or for your mobile money, it is shared for your friends, given to your friends, given to your moms, given to your girlfriends, given to your boyfriend. Why? Because you love him too much, so you need him to know your password so that he can realize or he can feel that really you have too much love for him. You're getting that? So that one becomes a problem. Pick a stronger passwords and keep them private. Never share your password, even with friend, family, or computer support personnel. Are we together? So we are being warned over the passwords. Passwords, we call them passwords. They are secret codes that are supposed to be for single individual, not multiple people. Be aware of emails or attachments from unknown people or with strange subject lines. So you should not be receiving unnecessary emails in your inbox. You should be aware of whatever you're receiving. Never open an attachment you are not expecting. And if you do not know the sender of an attachment, delete the message without reading it altogether. Because most of our computers are being affected through the spamming. When they come in and then they tell you here there is this and this and this, but you don't know where that mail came from. Then you open it. When you open it, you're installing a virus into your computer. What I call a Trojan horse. So these Trojan horses, they seem to be very important software, and yet they are malicious to us. Are we together? So you need to be careful. That's why they're telling you that you should not open any email without knowing where that email is coming from. And if you don't know immediately, please don't even open it, but just delete it. So it will safeguard you to see that your machine is not affected. But if you start opening every email that comes to you, popped to you, and then you open to find out what is there, then you find yourself that as it is being opened, there is a software that is being installed which is malicious to your host, or maybe it is collecting information from your company and then takes it back to wherever it's required. Are we together? So do not download unfamiliar softwares off the internet. Obtain softwares from the reputable sources and then to check the software thoroughly using the reputable viruses detection software on a locked disk for signs of infections before copying it to a hard disk. So, so you have to download information from or software from known sites. And even before you start using it, first scan it, make sure that it's really a software that is required. Do not click random links. Any link that you're not aware of, don't always open it. Do not click any link that you can you cannot verify to avoid viruses spread via emails or instant messaging altogether. Log out of, or lock your computer when stepping away, even for a moment. So always, when you're going outside, either for a short call or anything that you're going to do, make sure that your machine, you lock it out, because at any single time a person might enter inside and be able to use your machine. Forgetting to log out poses a security risk with any computer that is accessible to other people. Are we together? Then we have computer viruses, we have malwares, we have Trojan horses, we have worm, we have spray, we have adware. These are viruses that are commonly being affecting us in the world. So please be aware of all these. And now, how can we avoid this? A malware. Malware is a short for malicious software. Malware is the name given to any type of a software that could harm a computer system, interfere with and gather a user's data, or make the computer perform actions without the owner's knowledge or permission. Altogether, that's a malware. So Trojan horse, a type of a malware that uses a malicious code to install a software that seems okay but is hidden to create backdoors into a system, typically causing a loss or a theft of data from an external source. Altogether, this is the one that appears to be good, and yet is not what? It's not good. A worm. A worm, unlike a virus, a worm is a standalone piece of malicious software that replicates itself in order to spread to other computers. It often uses a computer network to spread itself, relying on security flaws on the target systems to allow access altogether. So this one will always copy its copy. When one machine is affected here, and it is connected to the network with other machines, then this one which is affected, it makes copies of itself and then distributes it to others that are attached on it. So when one machine is affected in the network, all other computers that are attached on that network, together with that affected machine, they will also be affected, because this virus, it distributes itself. It makes a duplication of copies and distributes them to others. Sprayware. Sprayware is the software that aids in gathering information about a person or organizations without their knowledge. So a sprayware, it's a virus that will always aimed at gathering information from the what? From the company. They can monitor and log the activity performed on the target systems, like log key strokes, or gather credit cards and other informations. So they can pick most of the informations and then send it to, more especially this one will be launched to the targeted company. Adware is a software which can automatically cause pop-up and banner. So you'll always be seeing pop-up here in the corner of your monitor popping up. Those are adwares advertised to be displayed in order to generate revenue for its author or publish. A lot of freeware will use adware, but not always in malicious ways. If it was malicious, it could then be closed as a spray or malware. Are you getting that? So adwares will always be trying to look and telling you that there's updates here, do this and this. So the pop-ups will always be coming here, but they're not so much dangerous. Not all of them. There's those which are dangerous, and there are others which are not dangerous. A virus is a small piece of software or a piece of a program that is capable of replicating itself. Getting it? So it can duplicate itself in so many ways. Two main characteristics of a virus: it must execute itself. It executes itself. It does not need any other person to execute, or it runs itself. It does not need another person to run it. Are you getting that? It must replicate or duplicate or repeat itself. So it replicates or duplicate. It makes duplications of copies. If one file is affected and that file is affected, then you'll see that file, we will be having two files in your computer. You'll have a file called Johnson, and again you'll have another file called Johnson, and yet you created one file. But the second one will be having some words, some words written on it before the word Johnson. Are you getting that? You'll be getting that. Okay, then viruses. A virus may attach itself to a program such as a spreadsheet. Each time the spread program runs, the virus runs to and replicate itself. So it can be attached to a program. when the program is running, you're opening up a program, it also runs together with what? With the program. Email viruses. We have email viruses moves around in email messages. User duplicates itself by automatically mailing itself to dozens of people in the victim's email addresses books. Are getting that? So they'll always be attached within the emails, and then they duplicate. So whoever uses your emails will always be affected with the same virus. And one of them will have Melissa viruses and have I love you viruses. These are so dangerous viruses that always affects us and our emails. Why do people do it? For some people, creating viruses seems to be a thirst or excitement or adventure. So a person designing, he may be very good at coding, and then he's excited of what he's doing. So he ends up developing something that he has not prepared for, and then you find himself coming up with a software that is so malicious to the community. Are getting that? So some of them are not done intentionally, some of them are done intentionally. Thrill of watching things blow up. Getting that? So the way on how they will be looking at things. A virus shows us how vulnerable we are. It will always expose our weaknesses. A virus will always expose. It's like a thief. When he comes to your house and then steals from you, he has shown how weak you are or how insecure you are. Are getting that? This will show you that you are not security. There is no security in your heart, in your home. There is no security in your company, because it exposes that you have some weaknesses. Then you'll get to realize that this port, it's what he used for him to enter. Then you have been there, but you had never put it under consideration that maybe someone can pass here and do something. Are getting that? So those viruses will always expose how vulnerable we are. Probably engineered viruses can have an amazing effect on the internet. Are getting that? So there is engineered. There are those ones that are engineered, posted on the internet. Then everybody they will have always amazing effect. It can make amazing things that you are not affected, you are not expecting to happen. So it can happen to you. They show how sophisticated and interconnected human beings have become. So they show how we are connected in this world. Together, symptoms of infections. Programs take longer to load than normal. Are you getting that? Computers' hard drives constantly run out of free space. You have ever seen that? That a computer is telling you that you are running a shortage of space, or what? That is the floppy disk drive or hard drive runs when you are not using it. So most of the drives will start running themselves. Are you getting that? Or most of the resources will start running themselves when you have not run them. You have not opened them. New files keep appearing on the systems, and you do not know where it comes from. Are you getting that? New things will start coming up. You see pages, pop-ups in the corners of the computer will always be coming up, trying to show you that you don't know where they're coming from and what are they for. Are you getting that? That indicates that the system is already affected. Then strange sounds or beeping noise come from the computer. So you'll be seeing some strange noise. As the computer is opening, you'll see some sound coming up or beeps, meaning that computer is affected. Strange graphics are displayed on your computer monitors. You'll always be seeing some unnecessary graphics displayed on your monitor, and you ask them where they're coming from. Might be when the machine is opening. That means already it is telling you that your computer is affected. Unable to access the hard drive when booting from the floor, from the CD or floppy drive. Are you getting that? So it may be hard for you to access your hard drive, or your disk drive. Are you getting that? Indicating that already it is affected. Program size keeps changing. The size of the programs will always keep changing most of the time. Then now, after realizing that all these and those are the signs that we can be able to, symptoms that we can be able to use for us to be able to realize that indeed our machines are affected. After knowing them, now how can we protect these computers from being affected by viruses or by all these malicious things? To protect yourself, you need to be proactive. You need to be proactive about security issues. Being reactive won't solve anything. By getting that. So for you to overreact, maybe you have got a problem. Let me say they have stolen from you a laptop, and then you start shouting over your toys and talking and doing what? Even though you talk, that won't solve the problem that has occurred. What you have to look at is to be proactive, to look at the way on how security can be put in place so that next time they should not again cheat from you. especially at church time and deadlines. In matters of facts, it can make the problem much more complex to solve, and the situations might worsen, resulting in a complete nightmare. Are getting that? Now, if you continue talking and doing what, then you'll be increasing the problem instead of the problem being solved. Because for you are now looking at shouting, but you have not looked at how to protect the problem or to solve the problem. Now, it will make the problem will continue, and it will become complex, and now it will degenerate into what? Into complete nightmares. It becomes now a part of you, because most of the time you are talking about it and you are abusing, you are doing what? So it becomes a problem to you, instead of sitting down and look for the solution. Best measurements are the protective ones. Well, protection measures, you need to basically do 4 steps to keep your computer and your data secure. 4 things will be required for you. 1, get the latest antivirus software. In other words, you should have an antivirus software into your machine. That's one way on how to protect your data from being attacked. Make sure you have the latest security patches and hot fixes using Windows updates. Make sure that your Windows are updated, because remember, the Windows has also what I call the firewall in them. Are you getting that? So make sure that you have the latest Windows or the latest Linux or operating system, let me say, in general, altogether. The purchases are updates, upgrading, new files that are being made by that particular company. Make sure that you have the updated what. So when you have the updated, for example, you're using Office 10 or Windows 10, it's more secure than Windows 7, because there are new files that has been put in Windows 10 which are not in Windows 7. I think that. 3, use the host best firewall. Are you getting that? Use the host best what? Firewall that is inside of protecting your what? Your device. Back up your important files. All the important files must be backed up. Backing up, we said that this is keeping the same file that you have in your computer in a different location, which is the same file, and then I pick it, I copy it, and I keep it in a different location, so that the original that I have, if it gets a problem, then I can call back the one that I backed up. So backing up is putting the same file into different locations for security purposes, so that when one is affected, then I can use the rest to continue altogether. Then I'm happy that we reach at the end of our fundamentals class, and today here we are now, as we are finalizing this, as we are looking at the conclusions of this class. As a summer class, obviously, unless if you have questions, I believe you'll be able to raise them, and I'm ready to answer them, and down there. But if there's no any question, then you guys should be ready for the exam after, immediately, when these the administrators people or guys have already given us, if they announce to us and they give us timetable, then obviously you guys will be called here to do the paper altogether. So this is the conclusions. Be aware of the new information, of the new infections out there. Take precautions, measures, always back up your data, keep up to date on a new antivirus software, simply avoid programs from unknown sources altogether. So you avoid all those. So my dear friends, as we are reaching at the end of our fundamental summer class, and today we are closing it in this program. We are closing the chapter, and then the fundamental that we are supposed to look at, we have already looked at. Only that when, if I'm to create another one, it will be for looking at Access, Word, and probably looking at a PowerPoint. Then since I don't know whether we shall have practicals, which I've not yet seen, but I believe I'll try to see if we can do it. And then obviously I may continue with the other more 3 classes from now to look at a real practical thing, so that we can see on how we can move with it. Others, for this class of theory, I end here, and you guys, I call upon you to continue reading all these things. There is no estating, because obviously I know that you guys, you have not yet done the assignments, And as you have not yet done the assignments, there is no problem. I will still, it may be, you may be giving out for excuse of COVID, but it won't be, because you people, you are signed for this and you registered for it. And I know that you guys, you had the assignment and you did not do anything, because I've not received any email from you guys. And I'm still continuing reminding you that before these people have not yet announced, I still write my email on top here again, that who will again write listen to this video. Please make sure that you do the assignment and send it. It will be considered when it is sent. If it is not sent, then I will use I will deduct 10 marks from you. My email is 12TWESIGE at gmail.com. So this is the email that you guys you need to use for you to send or to forward your assignment. Some people are telling me that they never saw it properly, so I believe you have seen it now. I'll again repeat, it is 12, this is 1, 2, or 12, T, W, E, S, I, G, E, at Gmail, GMAIL.com. This is the email that you're supposed to use. Are we together? For you to forward your assignment that you already have. Otherwise, for today, I'm ending here. Let's meet in other videos that I'm going to make for how to start with Word and do something in Word, Excel, Access, and probably PowerPoint. So we shall look at that, and time. It's the one that maybe shall cut us off. Otherwise, I wish you the best.